Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Insecure Season 5, Episode 8, Choices, okay? Review. You know what? I'll just say off the top, I like this one better than the last one. So, you know me, I always focus mainly on the character study of it. Let me start with Molly. Now, she didn't have that much to do in this episode, but she actually did a lot. You know, we first see her when we're at this art festival that was organized by Issa, and you know, it was her and Kelly, and they were talking, and she gets a text from Torian. And so they realize, okay, her and Torian have gone out on their first date. Now she's talking about the second date. And, you know, they hinting about sex and everything. She say she need a tune-up. So, and so that's pretty good. But that, you know what, the main thing in this episode was Molly getting a will for her parents. So her and Kelly are at her parents' house, you know, with her brothers, and they're talking about a will. And, you know, who gets what and everything. And, you know, Kelly does a little funny thing. But, you know, this is a serious conversation. And, you know, like I said, they didn't show Molly too much in this episode, but, you know, they first show that scene where all of them in the living room and they're talking, and then later on, you know, it's the evening, and, you know, Molly and Kelly are leaving, and the parents really like Kelly and everything. You know, as much comedy as Kelly brings, she is financial. She does have something going on, the Invisible 92. Now, you know, Molly goes out to her car, and she actually starts crying until she gets a text from Torian, because they were supposed to go out. But she said, you know, after everything going on that day, you know, with her parents, she's just not, she can't really go. Okay, that's cool and everything. And then later on, she's at home, and, you know, she's talking with Issa, and we'll get into why she was talking with Issa. You know, they were having a phone conversation, but, you know, she gets a knock on her door, and Molly finds someone had delivered something to her. It was some wine and some wings. He got it from Torian, and, you know, he just felt she needed some wine and some wings. He texted her and everything. So that's cool. That's cool. The only thing I would say with that is, for once, it looked like Molly's serious about somebody. And, you know, we'll see more of that next week, judging from the previews, but I ain't gonna get into that. The main event, of course, is Issa. Now, they start out the episode, Issa and Nathan in bed talking, just shooting the breeze and stuff. And, you know, Issa says something about Tiffany going to Denver, and Nathan's talking about going with her when, you know, when she go to visit her and everything. And I'm just like, okay, all right, we doing okay. We doing okay, except Issa, she just looks so excited. She's like, she's just there, you know? Like she still has some other stuff in them going on. I mean, Nathan told her that he loved her and everything, and they there. And then, you know, there's a part where they're in the bathroom talking, and Issa is, I was about to call him Nisa. I was about to ship them together. Issa's wearing, you know, one of Nathan's shirts that he had left over there weeks ago. And they were talking about, you know, he was leaving little things over there and everything. And there was even a part where she's brushing her teeth with his toothbrush. It's just like, okay. And she spit the stuff out. But he starts talking about, he says, you know, think about, let's move in together. You know, they could save money, all that good stuff. And, you know, Issa said, let's think about it. Okay, all right, that's cool. But then they, the next scene is pretty much, they at that art event. And the anthology collective from the other week is there as well. So it's looking good and everything. And Issa, you know, while it's going on, Issa is talking with the MBW representative. And, you know, he's like, yeah, you can reach this market and everything. And, you know, so she's doing a good job there. And then, you know, we have the scene with Molly and Kelly come in and all of that stuff. Now, one of the things that the MBW guy says, we could really, work with you in the future and everything. Man, not so much in those words, but you know what I mean. And I'm like, okay, could really like make something happen. All right, so we cool on all of that. Outside of the festival, Issa and her assistant see Crenshaw. He's outside and he wants to work with her. He's seeing what she's doing. He wants to work with her because he wants to open a store and everything. And, the assistant, she about to jump on him and all of that stuff, but she ain't really say much because she ain't really want to be, she was like cool and calm towards him. All right, that's cool. Now, she's back at home in her bathroom talking with Mirror Issa. She gets a text from MBW offering her lots of money. Lots of money. And then all of a sudden the scenes start going forward and everything, And, her and the MBW reps are at a theater and they walk in. All of a sudden the clothes are different. As she's walking down, all of a sudden there's first one assistant and then two other assistants in the MBW reps and everything. And then there's a part she's on stage being interviewed at the University of Michigan talking about all the stuff she's done. And then she's in first class on an airplane, and she's across the aisle from Ty Dolla $ign, the rapper Ty Dolla $ign, right? But it's interesting, she's looking all fly and everything. He brings up Crenshaw's name. Crenshaw's really been doing some stuff because Ty Dolla $ign was going to LA to work with Crenshaw, right? And then, Issa gets kind of a look, but then she's back home at her fly home with Nathan. Nathan got his little fly sweater on, his little chain. That house is fly. They give each other a kiss, and people might not notice, but Issa had a wedding ring on, a wedding band on. She had been married. It's like they kiss and he tells her to take off her clothes. She taking off her clothes. All of a sudden she goes back to reality. She gets a text while she's still in the bathroom. She's still in the bathroom with and stuff. She gets a text from Crenshaw. He really wants to meet. All of that was a dream sequence and stuff. And I got something to say about that dream sequence a little bit later. But then there's later there's she meets with Crenshaw at this outdoor little place. They got a lot of them in LA. Anyway, he wants to work with her and get in a storefront. She's like, I don't think we can really work together. And she isn't interested. He tells her to think about it. Y'all know what's coming now. Another dream sequence. She has a lot of them. I got something to say about that. But like I said, she works with Crenshaw to build some stores, very successful and everything. They start with one store, like Anthology Collective goes in with them and everything and builds one store, and then all of a sudden, just like in the previous dream sequence, daydream sequence, fantasy sequence, her clothes keep changing, and they already had one store, they get another store, and then she's walking outside the second store and all these people are in line to get in there. And it was a dream sequence. She stopped by this like street vendor who gave her some type of dessert or something, and she said something about playing spades. We know Issa can't play spades. And then I'm gonna tell you what, that's when while she got that little bit of food, she was walking and she sees a bus come by. It has an MBW ad on it. You see how she did that? She's in the other dream sequence. All of a sudden, Crenshaw comes in. Then she's in this one, MBW comes in. So, but then it advanced to when she's getting a key to the city of Inglewood from, I guess, the mayor, played by Tyra Banks, fool. I was looking at her, I was like, is that Tyra Banks? Yeah. Anyway, after she get the key, she goes back to her apartment. You see the key on the wall. It's the same apartment she had when she was the building manager. It's the exact same apartment. And her and Nathan is there. They even talk about it. It's like, you gotta make some sacrifices as an entrepreneur, And then he tells her that there's some trouble with Trina's toilet. Trina always gonna have some drama. And then She goes get a plunger. Now she looking all nice and stuff, dressed nice. She about to get a plunger and everything. And then Nathan says he's proud of her, but she didn't hear him well. She says, huh? And then Lawrence comes out wearing the exact same chain and shirt that Nathan was wearing. He said, yeah, I'm proud of her. And she's like screams at first, and then he approaches her trying to kiss her. And she pulls back and screams back into reality, back where she was after just meeting Crenshaw when he tells her to think about it, right? Now, real quick on that, just a real quick thing. And I wouldn't be shocked if in the final episode of Insecure, they go back to that apartment they had when that whole choice thing, when she was about to make a choice to get with Daniel. I would not be shocked. I'm serious. I'm just going to put that out there. I wouldn't be shocked they go all the way back, and this whole, the 5 seasons or something was nothing but a dream sequence. Nothing. Hey, they did that before for this TV show back in the day, Dallas. They made the whole season a dream sequence. I'm like, I wouldn't be shocked though. And then it's about a choice or something, and she do something like, you know what? Instead of going over to Daniel's place, she goes and really works things out with Lawrence and stuff. She makes a different choice. I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. All right, so anyway, that would be interesting. And then, you know, she's having a conversation with Mira Issa, talking about these things. And then Mira Issa just points out that, you know what, you still thinking about Lawrence. Now, here's the interesting thing about this episode, all right? You know, here's the interesting thing. Oh, before I get into that, it's interesting, you know, she's, you know, she has a conversation, you know, brief conversation with Mira Issa, walks out. Nathan comes back to the place. He brings some food. She looks so excited. And then there was a point Nathan goes into the, you know, he goes into the room. He says something, but she's looking like she expects Lawrence to come back out. And they kind of leave it at that. Now, here's the whole thing about everything. It's all about choices. Which choice does she make? She got 3 choices. Does she work with MBW? Okay, they offering a lot of money, could have a certain, you know, certain lifestyle and everything. But then is she taking that money, you know, taking the money and kind of selling out the hood? Like she can work with Crenshaw and really do something for the community, you know? But then she wouldn't make as much money. She's still living at the same place. You know, I'm gonna tell you what, on a deeper level, and I really like this episode for it, that's a major thing, because going through life, we always have those choices. And then, you know, it's interesting when she was talking with Molly around the end by phone, Molly said, hey, whatever you do, you know, whatever you do, you can, you know, make something of it. But then it's those 2 choices, but then it's still the choice between Nathan and Lawrence. She's still thinking about Lawrence. So she has all of these choices. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't that enthused about the season. I really wasn't. I really wasn't. But with this episode, okay, y'all bringing it back up. Okay, it looked like it'll end a bit better, because it does come down to that. Because if you think about it through all these seasons, and the whole reason I even bothered to talk about this show is this is some real life stuff. Now, of course, they focus in on Issa, but this could be anybody. Indeed, in one of my books that I wrote, Starting from Zero, which is a work of fiction, the main thing is the main character making a choice about how he wants to go through his life. Now, she has she has those 3 choices. You know, work for MBW, get the money and everything, but will that take away from the community? Work with Crenshaw, and she could still make some money, but it ain't gonna be the same thing. And then the whole relationship thing. I mean, look, okay, she got Nathan and everything. He in love, talking about moving in, because they showed something from next week. He actually moves in. Does she really want him? She don't look enthused with him. She don't have that look of like, yeah, this is it. So I'm gonna tell you what, okay, it's come up from the last one. The last one, I ain't gonna lie, kind of turned my stomach. It reminded me of like those, 4 sister shows going back to the 90s. You know, somebody even said going back to a different world, which is the 80s. And I'm just like, I was like, oh man. But I say, okay, what is she going to do? Now, that would be an interesting conversation for fans of the show. What would they do? Take the money or go with the community? They still making money with the community, but not the same amount. Ain't gonna have that fly crib, because in that first vision, she got everything. She got the husband. She got the money. She got the badass joint. I mean, that joint was nice. Shoot, you go over there and everything, you just take your time just walking around. That's a money place. So it's a lot to it. It's a lot to it. And it's all about those choices. Very important for her. And just, even though they showed just a little bit of Molly, we're showing something different with Molly. Okay, she finally showing a little bit more growth. I haven't seen as much from Issa. I'm just be real with you. Yeah, she getting all this stuff, but she still, relationship-wise, it's still the same thing. With Molly, it's like, okay, Molly might have found her match. We'll see in the last 2 episodes. I think so. She finally found a dude who could match her. Yeah, he's all professional and everything, but he got a bit of an edge to him. You saw in the last episode with them, or the previous episode, before the last episode, he got some edge with him. He ain't gonna put up with her crap. So, and that's kind of what she needed. So, anyway, that's it for this episode. I give it a good 8 out of 10. I give it a good 8 out of 10. All right. So stay tuned next week for the next review. Miss Mocha Angel, she'll be with me next week. Okay. We should have an interesting conversation. Oh man, but we'll let it happen. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.